Welcome to the Forge and Shield podcast, where we talk about faith, work, responsibility, and manhood, all to the glory of Christ. I'm B.D. Fleming.
And I'm Victor Oquendo.
And today we're going to talk about why this podcast exists. But first, Victor, how are you, man?
I'm doing great. Beautiful night. Weather's good. Not
This
sweating
is
yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is only like our third attempt at this tonight. So we're still fresh.
Yeah.
But so the Forge and Shield podcast, brand new podcast. We'll talk about why it exists and we'll talk about where we're going with it. But first, tell me a little bit about yourself, Vic.
Yeah. So, small town man, right? So I've got born and raised in North Central Florida. I've got a beautiful family, a house full of estrogen, a wife, and two beautiful daughters. I'm a local businessman. I own and operate an HVAC company right here out of Ocala, Florida. And like to do the outdoor thing. So fishing, hunting, anything outdoors, boating. That's my hobby. And so, Christian man, local businessman, family man, and great outdoorsman.
There you go. I like it. But I'm B.D. Fleming. Also have a ton of estrogen in my house. I've got a wife and two daughters as well. Mine are a few years younger than yours. But I'm sure they're right on the cusp of making things very difficult for me. But anyway, I am a small business owner as well, very micro business compared to Mr. Vic's business here. But I own the Old Forge Press, and it is a small Christian publishing house, and I'm an author and write mostly what I call tactical theology, which is theology that is applicable to our daily lives. But I also write, books, a couple fiction books as well. And but all of that writing is meant to be able to help men and households grow in their love and their convictions about Christ. And so, originally from East Tennessee, moved down to Florida, the free state of Florida during COVID. I think we all can understand why. And so this, this podcast exists because Victor and I go to church together. I'm an elder at Grace Point Church in Summerfield, Florida. And Vic is one of our best churchmen, hopefully soon to be deacon and men's leader as well. And so, we have had a lot of conversations just over a cigar like we're doing right now. And we recognize that most good podcasts exist because it is an extension of conversations that have been ongoing. And so that's what this is. This is a podcast that is for, Christian men who are trying to live an ordinarily faithful life every day. And so we're going to talk about a lot of great things, and we'll jump into the episode here in just a second. Unless there's anything else, Vic, that you wanted to say about why the podcast exists.
No, I mean, I think you hit it right on the nail. Christian leadership, theology debates, which is more so BD's.
That's my wheelhouse.
So, I don't think anybody can really win an argument with this guy when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Don't know about
Other
that.
than this guy named Robbie, he probably could.
Robbie could probably definitely do that.
Yeah. So I think you hit it right on the nail.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so here's what we recognize. We recognize that most podcasts that are Christian podcasts are very theology heavy, and I'm down for that. But there's a time and a place for that. Most blue collar guys like ourselves are maybe have 20 minutes to listen to a podcast here or there, and ultimately they want to hear some practicality, right? They want to hear how they can lead their families better, how they can run their business to the glory of God, how they can do their work with integrity, or how they can raise their kids, right? Like this is what we're talking about all the time. How they can be physically and mentally and spiritually strong, and ultimately how they can make sure that they don't drift away from their core mission, which is to build and protect for their family. And so that's what this podcast is all about. We're going to talk about a bunch of different topics. We'll talk theology, we'll talk culture, but we're also going to talk hunting. We're going to talk, firearms, fishing.
Oh yeah.
We're going to talk about, standing on business.
Standing on business.
Standing on business.
That's right.
So let's talk about what the name means, right?
Yeah.
So if you were paying attention at all, I said I own a small publishing business called the Old Forge Press.
And I didn't give the name of the company, but so my HVAC company's name is Iron Shield Heating and Air, right? So I don't even mean to cut you off. Just wanted to throw that out.
You didn't cut me off, and we were going there anyway, so you're good. But so I own the Old Forge Press. Vic owns Iron Shield Heating and Air. And so what we did is we took Forge and Shield, threw them together. And I thought it made good sense because to me, here's what the Forge represents, Vic. Formation, discipline, and shaping men through truth and experience.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and the shield to me represents protection, responsibility, leadership, and providing for a household.
Yeah. So building and protecting is what we're all about. And so the vision for this show, I'm going to be totally frank at the very beginning. This is not going to be hour-long podcast episodes.
Yeah.
We are going to keep things really short. This is meant for the guy who is leaving the job site and is on his way home, and he might have 20 minutes, right? And so we want to give them something quick, something applicable that adds value to their life. We believe that Christ is Lord over all, and that, unfortunately, a lot of people have fallen for the trap that says that your faith must be compartmentalized. And we don't believe that. Like I said, we believe Christ is Lord over all. And so in this podcast, we're going to talk work. We're going to talk marriage and fatherhood. We're going to talk money. What else are we going to talk, Vic?
Strength, responsibility, skills, stewardship of the world.
And recreation. All kinds of recreation. So in other words, we believe that all of life is to Christ, and all of our duties will be held accountable to Christ. And so, we'll talk strength and discipline, raising kids, all those things, but not in a segmented way. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how faith intersects with daily life. And so this show is for men who work hard, they carry responsibility, they want to honor Christ with their life and their work. And so really, if I summed it up, I'd say it's for builders and protectors. Do you agree?
Yeah, and people who love to hunt, fish, and outdoors.
Heck yeah, man. That's right. So, again, this is not a highbrow podcast. We're going to keep it really simple. We're not going to make you sit through hour-long episodes. And so what we want to leave, the closing thought I want to leave you with in this initial just 10-minute episode is that Christian men are called to something different than shrinking back or apologizing or disengaging. We are called to build the culture for Christ. And so this is for men who are going to build, who are going to protect, who are going to lead. We want to encourage our followers to live faithfully under Christ every single day. And so that's what Forge and Shield is about.
Yeah.
You got any closing thoughts?
I mean, you did a really good job of closing it out, man.
All right. So stand on business, build well, protect what's yours, lead faithfully, and live all of your life to the glory of Christ. We'll see you next time.